Welcome to Finding Magic, the podcast where we explore the wonder, creativity and connection that makes life feel magical. I'm Beverley Bishop, and my own journey of finding magic began in 2018 after the loss of my son Jess. I wrote a play called Finding Magic to help me navigate my grief, and it slowly helped me to rediscover joy again. Since then, helping people find magic in their own lives has become the heart of my work. Now, usually at this point, I would introduce a guest. But on this occasion, the guest for this podcast is me. And I'm going to be interviewed by my lovely, lovely and dear friend producer, Ian Seisland. So, Ian Seisland, what are you going to ask me?
I don't know because I'm not mic'd up yet. I forgot to mic myself. Oh, I was about to say the tables are turned. It's all about me. It's not. It's all about you.
Are you mic'd up now?
I've got my mic ready.
Right,
I'm
okay.
sorted. Blimey.
Okay. Do you want to get rid of that now?
No.
Oh, does that make you feel?
It's hiding my belly. Right. So a lot of people have listened to you on your podcast. Mm-hmm. We've done, 6, 7, 8, 9, probably around about 10 now?
We've done quite a few already. Yeah. Yep.
But some people will know you through your work, through your arts, through your performance. And I just thought it would be good for us to put into context the story, the elements of your story that people don't know.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, we've known each other 38 years nearly.
Yeah.
We met at drama school in Glasgow. Uh-huh. We didn't lose touch. We did lose touch, I suppose.
Yeah, we did lose touch until Facebook came round, and I remember I got a random message from you about Facebook and said, "Don't worry, it's not too scary. All you have to do is."
Did I really?
Yeah, you did. And then so then I joined Facebook, and we became Facebook friends, and I guess we were in touch then ever since. But I think we probably had maybe even a 20-year gap.
Yeah, it must be.
Yeah.
But I think as you grow older, you radiate back towards people.
Yeah, I think so.
For whatever reason, you go off and live your lives. So tell me, fill in the gaps for me a little bit and anybody that's listening. So we finished drama school in 1990.
We did.
In Glasgow.
Yep.
You're a girl from Hull.
I was, from Hull.
Hull.
I remember the first day and we had to go round. And you said, my name's Ian Seisland and I'm a vegetarian Piscean. And I think I said, my name's Beverley and I'm from Hull. And, I think people just looked really confused. And people wanted to know, where's Hull?
Well, that's fine, because at least they weren't judging you for being a vegetarian Piscean. And who's the twat in the corner being a vegetarian Piscean? What does that tell us about anybody? So what happened after drama school? Where did you end up?
Ireland. Originally, I had this romantic notion that I was going to... Because I remember, I think it was Grace Matchett, our movement teacher, said that I would never work until I was over 40.
So you decided to go to Ireland for 15, 20 years?
Because she said, I was so young and looked so young, and she said, your face isn't characterful enough. and I suppose at that age you're quite impressionable, and I kind of felt and then I did think maybe I do need a bit of life experience behind me. And I remember going on holiday to Ireland with my flatmates, Mark Markham and Ruth Morley, and the three of us went to Ireland, and I completely fell in love with Galway. So I decided, once I've graduated, I'm going to live in Galway and I'm going to live on the side of a mountain and I'm going to do an ordinary job for a while until I'm old enough, experienced enough and interesting enough to act again. So that's what I did.
Isn't it funny things that stay with you? Things that people say to you, the mark they can leave on you.
Absolutely,
when we were at drama school, I'm not going to name names, they will know who they are. They told me I had a diseased voice. And that stayed to this day. It
These things do stick with you, don't they?
Yeah.
So I went to Ireland, and it probably not surprisingly, it didn't take me long to get involved with performing again. There was this advert in the newspaper it was from Punchbag Theatre Company. They were a new writing company, and they were looking for actors for a new play called Eclipsed by Patricia Burke-Brogan, and this play was set in the Magdalen Laundry, and this was way before the film came out. Anyway, I went to this audition, and quite remarkably, I got the part of the novice nun. You see, so having a young face stood me in good stead. They asked me whether I would be prepared to shave my head for the part, because part of the role was there was a scene where one of the Magdalen Laundry girls would just kind of got into novice nun didn't fight, but she was quite a feisty one, was character of Bridget, and kind of just took the veil, and it was like that shock factor of nun having no hair. And I was so naive and dedicated at the time. I went, oh yeah, that's fine. So I shaved all my hair off, and then I thought I was so cool because I was like Sinead O'Connor, and that was my introduction to real, proper, gritty rural touring. I will never forget it. Honestly, this show started off being performed in Galway for weeks, and it was so popular, it got extended. And then we toured it the length and breadth of Ireland, and that was the first time I'd experienced arriving in the middle of nowhere. You couldn't even see a house, but there was this village hall. We'd set up, we'd go and get changed, get ready for the performance, and then I'd come out and there was hundreds of people there. It was the most incredible thing. And then after the show, there would be women who came who were in the Magdalen Laundry or had family members who had been. And I think that was the first time I'd ever encountered the power of live performance and the impact it can have on people. So I kind of, after leaving college, struck lucky.
Fast forwarding a few years,
Yeah.
I mean, we've both done a lot between then and now.
Yeah.
When we reconnected through Facebook, you were in Norfolk.
I was in Norfolk.
Which is where my family were from.
I mean, what are the chances of that?
Well, I now live in Norfolk as well. So we're
literally up the road from each other now. Yeah.
And finding you in Norfolk, you had a family. How did that happen?
Well, I had children. That's how, you know how you have children.
Yeah.
Surely.
Well, I'm still learning.
Of course, yeah. So what happened is eventually I went back to Hull. I met Simon, the boy's dad. And we had 2 children. I, at the time, was running a dance company called Moonshine Dance Theatre. Unsurprisingly, not making any money whatsoever. And any money that was being made, I would pay the dancers and the stage manager and everybody but me, which of course became untenable when you've got 2 children. So Simon and I agreed that, given Simon was a teacher and I'm a performer, that I should apply for a different kind of work, which was more steady and regular, and that we would move anywhere in the country to bring up our children. So I remember we made that agreement. He's a school teacher, so he could probably get work anywhere. I got a copy of The Guardian. I think in those days it was Mondays was the creative media jobs page. And there was this advert saying, Sheringham Little Theatre seeking a director. And having had no experience of running a venue, that's the naivety of youth and the confidence that you might have as a young person. And I needed a job. And I said to Simon, do you think I should apply? And he said, go on then, apply. 6 weeks later, I was in post. So that's what brought us all to Norfolk.
And I mean, knowing you as I do now, I mean, working in the arts is your life, and the arts is your life. It's one of the most important things to you, about you, and not working in the arts isn't an option as far as I can see.
It is, unfortunately. If there was anything else I could do, I'd probably do it, because I don't have any. Well, I did have stability actually when I worked in arts management, but I was still working within the arts. But then after a while, when the lads got a little bit older, it was like, I need to be creative. I need to make things. I need to perform. I need to write. I don't have a choice, because if I did, not that I'd be an accountant, but I'd do something where I got a steady wage and felt rewarded. But as I appear to be lacking in those skills, that this is who I am and this is what I do. And it's as simple as that, really.
Anybody that's listened to the podcast, which you did with your mum, and it gets touched on there about how the arts have always been part of your life from a child, from a young child.
Yeah.
And it's a lovely podcast, by the way. So, yeah, if you're listening to this and you haven't listened to the one with Bev's mum, listen to it because it's lovely. Why is the art so important to you, to us, to anybody? You know, especially in formative years.
I mean, I think for me, in my formative years, it gave me something that I didn't have in real life, and that was I was incredibly shy as a little girl, really shy, quite anxious. But when I performed, I became somebody else, and I grew. I could feel myself like physically growing, but more importantly, I think I developed a confidence that I didn't seem to have in real life. And it's probably still true to a certain extent. But I think that's what it was for me, that when I was performing, I was somebody. Whereas in real life, I was this timid little girl.
So was it escapism to the person you wanted to be or you wanted to become?
I don't think I even thought it through. I just remember that feeling of, wow, I feel amazing. I feel happy. Oh, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. That's, in a way, it's as simple as that. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. This is amazing. This is a wondrous thing. And that has never, ever, ever left me.
And how I mean, you found this stable job in, was it Sheringham?
Sheringham, initially.
I mean, how did you juggle, being a mum and having the family with that job in the arts? Was it?
I mean, it was tricky, but I mean, I think I was very, very lucky in that Simon, well, he had school hours, which meant that he was at home from, let's say, about 4:00, 4:30. And I have to say, an amazing dad. A bloody brilliant dad. And so we did share the workload, which it sounds like, well, of course that's how it should be, but I think back in the day it was less so. But yes, Simon is a brilliant dad, so he took on a lot of stuff. But it was also a juggle, and I do remember one incident when our Jess it had been about 1.5, and he was in a chair under my desk at the theatre in the office. Just literally under my desk, there he was in a little chair. I can't remember why, but I mean, they basically lived at the theatre. Basically, when they were not with Simon or our brilliant childminder Joy or one of their grandmas, they're with me at the theatre.
So arts intrinsically was a big part of their life as well, or?
Yeah, but I mean, not necessarily now. They probably thought, is this the life we want? No, I don't think so. Yeah. No, but I mean, they were brought up with the arts. It was part. It was their normal, if you like. Okay. It was just that they were surrounded by it always. Whether it was me in the office doing admin, whether it was meeting and greeting people because there was an event or a reception on, and they would be there. And I guess they learned how to behave. I mean, I never remember them being naughty at the theatre. They were naughty at home, but never at the theatre. They saw so many performances. It was their world as well.
And things change for you, life-changing events, and you have spoken about it openly and publicly, and you continue to do so. Tell us, I don't know, I'd say...
Shall I just say what happened?
Tell us, because for somebody that's not involved and has not been around it's slightly awkward to know how to ask the question.
Yeah. Well, my son died, my youngest son, Jess, when he was 20. He died by suicide which of course has had a huge. I'm actually, I can feel myself welling up now.
No, no, I'm not.
It doesn't get any easier even after all these years. He died just over 7 years ago. He died by suicide. He was he'd been at UEA in Norwich just for 2 weeks. He was following what would have been his dream. He wanted to be a lawyer. So he went to UEA to study law, but sadly it wasn't to be. And as one day I received a visit from the police informing me that my son had died. So of course that's a life-changing event that impacted, not only me, but, the whole family. And the ripple effect is massive. It's not just me, the family, it's friends, it's anybody who knew Jess. Yeah, that did change things a lot for me.
The whole series and the company, Finding Magic, that you're involved in now, was that born out of that event?
Yeah, completely.
Yeah?
Yeah, it did. I wrote a play called Finding Magic, and it was written during lockdown. And I loved lockdown, actually. It gave me time and space to grieve. But I had time and space. And fortunately, I do like being on my own. And I wrote this play called Finding Magic. And me being me, writing a play isn't enough. It has to then be staged. And it was premiered at Norwich Puppet Theatre, which was where the boys went a lot. And that was on the 2nd anniversary of Jess's death. And Finding Magic was about my journey to finding, again, I guess, a purpose, a joy, keeping on going. And through that process of writing and subsequently performing it, because it's now been performed all over the country, it reignited my spark. But also what it did is it made me realise that I have a duty to be happy, to find joy, because if I don't, and I spend the rest of my life in mourning, then that's 2 lives gone, and Jess wouldn't want that. So I guess for me, like what happened from writing Finding Magic, it was like, okay, I now need to live my magic, because that's what Jess would want. But also because Jess died by suicide, it made me feel I don't want any mother or anybody to feel the pain that I'm feeling because somebody in your life has taken their life. But also it's like, I want to, in my way, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a politician, I'm not a teacher, but it was like, in my way, I want to use my skills to support people in finding more magic in their life. And the reason why I use magic and not joy is because, like, magic's slightly different and more interpretive, but there's something more to magic than joy. So after writing the play, that's where I thought, actually, this is what I want to do for my work now. I want to continue performing because that is my joy. And I still have that, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. That's my wonderment, if you like. I'm lucky, but many people don't find theirs. So that's when I set up Finding Magic, the community interest company, running workshops to support people in finding their magic. And then off the back of that, this is how the podcast started as well, because I was wanting to reach more people, but also I was really interested in like talking to people in much more depth about where they find their magic.
Yeah.
So that's basically what brings me to the two of us sitting here now.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about grief is there's no one right or wrong way to do it, and I'm sure it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
What would you say your journey of recovery has been? I mean, I think one thing, I mean, and we've chatted about this before.
Yeah.
One thing that always amazes me and really surprised me when you first told me it is that you accepted Jess's decision to commit suicide.
Yeah.
Can you explain that to people that are listening?
I can, because I know that some people have got quite angry with me about saying that, and I do accept and respect his decision, because that was his decision to make, not mine. And then some people say, well, people who take their lives, it's because they've run out of choices. But for me, when he was with us, he made, well, less impact decisions, but he made them because they were own to make, because he's an individual. He's part of me, but he is an individual, and he had a right to make those decisions. So for me, I mean, it was a huge... I like to say it was a decision rather than saying it run out of choices, because I don't want to make him into a victim. That even sounds wrong, because it's like, if somebody takes their own life, are they a victim? But to me, it's more empowering. And I guess it's like, by respecting his decision, and in my head thinking and believing it was a decision in that moment, possibly in that moment, as in his life when he made decisions, it's not for me to not respect it, because he's my boy and I love him so much. And if I didn't respect his decision or accept it, then my life would be living hell, because I would spend the rest of my life torturing myself. And I do meet people who are tortured, and I don't want that for me or my family or friends, and certainly not him. And I don't have any answers to what happened to Jess, but it's like, I guess it's my coping.
Mm. And I mean, through your experiences, again, through your work and through performance, I guess you're trying to help other people find their way through grief.
Yeah.
And again, there's no one way through it. So
there is no one way through it.
What do they take from your work, and how do you help them?
Well, I guess I share my experience, but I mean, that's not enough. I think it's about empowerment. And what I want to do is help people believe that they can find magic, or help them believe in themselves. I think that's more it, actually, the magic within themselves. That we, we're all different, and actually, how brilliant is it that we're all different, and we all find our own way, and my way will be a different way from somebody else's. But for them to have enough belief in themselves to believe their own magic or their own qualities, and to believe that what they're doing their best, and hopefully through the workshops, which are fun actually. And that's another thing, I think, as adults, we don't get to play enough. We don't get to experience joy just for the sake of it. And what I do in the workshop is entertaining, because I usually start with a magic trick, and the magic trick has some kind of meaning. And then we explore whether it's connection or whether it's what fills your cup or whatever. But it's entertaining because it is magic. But I'd hope that they can just get, even if it's a spark of something, a spark of inspiration, a spark of connectedness that makes them feel that that they're not alone. And it might be that as a result of taking part in the workshop, they might want to try a new hobby. It sounds really crass when we're talking about grief, but doing something,
whatever works
anything,
for you,
whatever
gets you
works.
through, I guess.
Or whether it's like, actually, I think I really need to talk to a group of people who've been through the same thing as myself, or I need to be in nature more. But I'm just kind of wanting to share my experience, offer some fun, because quite a lot of groups, people get together and talk about how difficult life is. And life is difficult, and talk about their bereavement, or talk about their depression, or talk about their mental health. And that is so, so, so important. But my focus is, I'm thinking, well, there are organisations and groups who do that. What I'm wanting to do is to help people like switch their brain, if you like, to focus on what might be possible.
Mm-hmm.
And it just felt like, I just want to do more of this, because I just think I can't bring Jess back. I can't. But if I can make a tiny bit of difference in somebody's life, then it's not going to bring Jess back, but at least I'm contributing something positively to the world. Now, before Jess died, I didn't have that in my head.
Yeah.
That wasn't a mission. But that is definitely now.
But also, through the work and what you're doing, you're keeping Jess alive. You're keeping his name alive, and you're keeping him present.
Yeah. I mean, I've not said it today, but I'm going to say it now. I've got this habit of using his full name, and in real life, I never would. But his name, Jess Benjamin Fairweather, and for some reason, it's really important that I say Jess Benjamin Fairweather. In real life, I never called him Jess Benjamin Fairweather. Even when he was naughty, it was Jess Fairweather. But now it seems really important that I say his full name. But yeah, I do have a fear of him being forgotten. And there's an element, of course, I'm keeping his name alive now by doing what I'm doing.
What advice would you give to anybody that feels they've lost their magic, or they're lacking magic? How do you find it?
I think it finds you. You just got to be open to it, which sounds so crass and so pretentious. But I think it's hope, having hope that there's more to life, and life will get better, because it will, and it does. But it's about having that hope and being open to good things happening to you, and to participate in life. And I think moments of magic happen. And I also understand that if you're in a really, really, really dark place, it's hard to find those moments. But it's having that hope and that belief that things will get better and magic will find you. And I believe it does. I really believe it does. But you have to be open to it.
Thank you, Beverley. And this feels really weird that I'm doing this. You usually do this bit. But I get to do it.
It's your turn now. Go on.
This is a special treat. Usually I'm listening to it in the corner with headphones on. So if you've enjoyed... It just sounds wrong. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please share it with someone who might need a spark of magic in their day. And remember, magic is everywhere, especially in the small things. Until next time, keep looking for the magic around you. The Finding Magic podcasts have been made possible through funding from National Lottery Awards for all... The Finding Magic podcasts have been made possible through funding from National Lottery Awards for All Fund and Norfolk Community Foundation. They were recorded at Soundyard... They were recorded at Soundyard in Norwich with Beverley Bishop and produced by me, Ian Seisland. I think you can do it next time. I think you've got the job back. You can have it next time.